Hello, everyone. It's your host, SethTheProgrammer. With me today, I have a good friend, Geeklist TV. We are going to be talking about the Super Saiyan God forms. We're going to be explaining all the God forms. So, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. And we're also going to be going over his base form because there's a few misconceptions about Goku's new base form. Or not really new anymore, but Goku's like God Essence base form. So we're going to be explaining all of that. So without further ado, here's Geeklist TV.
What's going on, guys? MJ here. Thank you for bringing me on the channel, Seth.
Yeah, no problem.
Alright, so I guess we should address the base form first, right? Because
Yeah.
I think I still see, I don't know about you, but I still see, like, in my comment section, people still bring up the fact that, like, Goku has two bases, or Goku uses God Ki in his base, or there's, like, the people are confused about Super Saiyan God in the manga and Goku's base form, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'll just have to go off of some of the statements from the anime, and we'll get into the manga in a second, but, like, in the anime, I don't feel like he uses God Ki at all. I don't think there's really been any indication that they do, except for maybe when they're in Whis' staff in that dimension, and Vegeta makes note of this by saying that, oh, he feels the pressure and they're in their base forms. But other than that, I mean, Goku didn't use God Ki to face ROF Frieza, even though people think he did, because both Krillin and Gohan, two people, could sense both their fights. And then when Goku turns into his blue form, which is a God form, that's when Krillin makes note that he can't sense Goku's ki anymore. So I don't think there's really been any instance that he used God Ki in his base. I mean, I don't know if you agree with me on that or not.
Well, in the anime, it's actually said, Beerus goes over this pretty well, but he says, basically, you turn Super Saiyan God into your own energy, right?
Yeah.
So basically what happened is that the Super Saiyan God Ki turned into normal Ki, and that's what became his new base form. So that's why, like, at the end of the Beerus fight, he was capable of, like, haymakering Beerus' full power attack, or, well, not full power, but Beerus' attack that he couldn't handle as a Super Saiyan in just his base form, because he fully absorbed Super Saiyan God into his normal ki. So his normal ki is now as strong as Super Saiyan God, at least in the anime. I don't want to trigger anybody here, but it's just his normal ki, so it's not actually a God form.
Yeah.
Now, in the manga, what would you say about that? Because in the manga, it doesn't really do what Battle of Gods does or the anime does, where it like clearly says, okay, you absorbed a lot of Super Saiyan God's power and made it your own. What do you think the manga does?
That's true. The fact that it's not in the manga at all. None of that whole where he fights Beerus in his Super Saiyan form or even in his base form, like in the movie, right? None of that is in the manga. It just ends when Beerus throws his, I guess, quote unquote, sphere of destruction, and Goku uses a full power. Well, he does still say that his power can still get even higher, so that could go against the whole God form, like in the anime, how it still rises. So there's that connection between the anime and the manga. But other than that, the fight pretty much ends abruptly there with Goku back in his base form, and then Beerus and them leave. Of course, they tell him about all the other universes, but they basically leave. So it's hard to say, bro. I mean, I know a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but I think he probably still did absorb some of it. I mean, that's how he becomes a god in the manga, the blue form, the SSB, in my opinion,
Yep, and when he's training with Whis actually sees an after image of Super Saiyan God. I mean, if you think about it logically, how is base Goku and base Vegeta going to be able to shit-stomping Gotenk Super Saiyan 3 in their base forms if they didn't get any God Essence, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had to get some kind of power-up from Super Saiyan God, so it's more than likely at least the manga kind of followed what Battle of Gods did. At a bare minimum, he just got a big boost from it. Even if you say he's not Super Saiyan God level, he's got a big boost. It's still not God Ki, though. But now on to Super Saiyan God. What are your thoughts about that? Like, because you really wanted to explain this into detail because of the new manga chapter. That's right.
In the Universal Tournament, Universe 6 or Universe 7 tournament, we see Goku bring that form back, right? That freaked everyone out because everyone was so happy that we got the Kaioken and the blue form, because I think a lot of people have always fantasized about the idea of Goku using Kaioken with the Super Saiyan forms. So people were real cool and real excited to see that get into the anime with the blue form, but in the manga they used the red form. Toyotaro brought that back, and pretty much it seems to be implied that it is a weaker form than the blue form. When he uses it, he goes up against Hit, and Vegeta makes note and says that Jerk is still saving power for the blue form. And plus, I mean, it's just a logical assumption because it's yellow, red, Blue, he's kind of using it as a stepping stone, you know what I mean? He has SS1, SS2, SS3, and then God, and then Blue. So it just makes sense. It's like a stepping stone. So it would be the weaker form. However, in Manga Chapter 22, Seth, I want to get your thoughts on this. It's been revealed that even though Blue is stronger, in fact, it is a good deal stronger because Goku Black called that form a low class Super Saiyan form. He was like, get that shit out of here, you know what I mean, when he saw him so use it. And this is Vegeta post training, so that tells you the difference between Blue and God. So even after post training, Goku Black was mocking Vegeta in that God form. But here's the thing, it's more stable because okay, what are your thoughts on that? Because it is more stable, at least because he seems to be bursting into his Blue form the moment he attacks, right?
Well, it's more stable in the manga, but in the anime, the Super Saiyan Blue is stable. I mean, I would argue that Super Saiyan God's probably easier to be in. I mean, like it like regenerates you and all kinds of shit. It seems to be an easier form to cope with, but in the anime, it's just not even used, and it's just said, hey, Super Saiyan Blue is actually, you have to have a calm mind, right? Because they're going with the whole Toriyama thinks the color blue is like a calm mind kind of shit, right? You remember that interview?
Yeah, and plus it just makes sense because Goku mentions that when he uses the Kaioken, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the manga, I don't think Goku would be using the Kaioken with a blue form anytime soon.
Completely avoided it, actually. They said Vegeta was at 1/10 of power when he fought Hit, so Goku's Super Saiyan God form was stronger than Vegeta at 1/10 power. Now, I guess you could imply there's like a multiplier there. I mean, maybe you could say that Goku's like 2/10 of Vegeta's power, and maybe like Super Saiyan Blue is like a 5 times multiplier on the Super Saiyan God. But the manga is just wacky with the way it deals with things. I don't think we should go over the exact multiplier on the base forms for any of these forms. We're just going to be, explaining the forms in general. But what are your thoughts on him bursting into the form? Because I know that's actually something that Toyotaro did in like his in like an AF manga, isn't that right?
Yeah, Herms, you can follow him at Herms98. He made note of this when he brought out the whole AF manga by Toybo or Toyotaro back when he was going by that name. And he used Vegeta. You can't tell me it ain't the same shit, bro. It's Vegeta going up against Zycor, and in the official Super manga, it's Vegeta going up against Goku Black, and it's basically the exact same thing. He's using the different grade forms, and he's jumping into and bursting into the higher transformation the moment he attacks, which I guess is kind of ingenious. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Goku do this against Frieza with the Kaioken times 10? Like, he was bursting into it, right? Or no?
Yeah, with the Kaioken.
Okay,
definitely.
so it does make sense that Toyotaro would bring this back, and that he would obviously, I guess, take notes from Toriyama's original manga when Goku did it against Frieza. Just makes sense. However, though, it seems like that does cause a big difference between the manga and the anime. For people who think they really aren't that different, I think the blue forms really do indicate just how different they are, because in the Future Trunks arc, we see Goku and Vegeta jump back and forth from base to blue, from Super Saiyan to blue to base to blue, and it seems to have no consequences. Like, I think there's a scene where Vegeta literally gets knocked on his ass. He gets back up from it, in his base form, he goes blue, and he's like, now I'm at full power, and I'm just
they seem to be getting stronger from doing.
So it's like, well, weren't you in blue like these last 2 episodes, bro? Like, so you weren't fighting at full power. So it's like, where in the manga, the form is just so, I guess, is it so strange? Like, what would be the right word, bro? It's like they don't even want to jump into it, right? Without using so much energy. I
have no idea what Toyotaro is actually doing with the manga. I mean, you could tell Toriyama didn't imply any of this. You could tell that Toriyama did not imply for Super Saiyan Blue to be like strenuous or some shit, right? Because I mean, it's not in the Revival of F movie. It's not in the fucking anime at all. So it's just like Toyotaro is an outlier here with almost everything he does. I mean, and when it comes to like power scaling the characters and all that, he said some weird shit. Like, he said Vegeta couldn't even lift like 1,000 tons or some shit. When like Goku in his base form and like the boost could lift like fucking 100 tons, let alone like post God Vegeta as a Super Saiyan, right? It's 50 times stronger.
Yeah.
So weird shit like that. I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe now we should talk about why Blue is way stronger than the God form. I mean, as you know, it's stated like numerous times, right? Like, I think it's
It is stated numerous times by both narrator and the anime and in the manga. In the anime, I cannot remember the exact episode, but guys, whenever you watch Super, you can go find this whenever he transforms against Golden Frieza. He basically eggs him on to show him his full power. Goku goes blue, and the narrator says Goku has evolved into a form that has surpassed even Super Saiyan God. So that is telling us the Super Saiyan blue form is a stronger transformation than the Super Saiyan God form. I mean, it just makes sense. Goku wanted to show Frieza what he was fully capable of. And then you jump into the manga again. I know we were just talking about how different they are, but again, the narrator states the exact same thing, saying that Goku and Vegeta used a form called Super Saiyan Blue, which is even stronger than Goddo, which is Super Saiyan God.
Yep. And Black said...
Yeah, Black said the same thing. He basically just mocked the Super Saiyan God form, saying it's a weak Super Saiyan transformation. I guess compared to Rose and Blue, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that tells you right there, there is a huge difference between Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan God. It's just so weird to me. Like, I don't want to say I'm pissed off over it, but it's just so weird that Goku does the Mafubo one freaking time, and it's like he can't even go back into that form anymore. You know, it's just like...
Yeah. I mean, and then the reason... why people think Super Saiyan God is stronger, okay? Now, first of all, it's never stated Super Saiyan God is stronger. It's only, you know, fans' headcanon because Goku has better feats in the God form, like, for example, shaking the universe, but he doesn't do anything remote. I think, what's Goku's best feat as Super Saiyan Blue? Like, blowing up a fucking few buildings or something, bro?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I get where you're coming from, right? But... what you need to know about Super Saiyan God is that Super Saiyan God was actually shaking the universe on accident. Okay, that was not... He was trying to control those shockwaves. He didn't want that to happen. So by the time he punched Beerus, I think the third time, he mastered that it wouldn't cause any more shockwaves. So obviously with more training and more practice and more ki control, he would no longer give off those shockwaves. I think Toriyama even stated one big part of becoming stronger is learning how to control your ki. So when Goku went from like however strong to fucking God, it was like this massive jump and he couldn't control it instantly. But now that he's mastered his forms more, he can control them better. And that's why you don't see as such insane feats. So I think a lot of people, you know, don't actually know that. So they think, you know, God is stronger.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think even the Kaioshin mentioned something about that. Like, Kabuto Shin goes, "Oh, Elder, why isn't he shaking the universe anymore? Or why isn't the universe in danger anymore when they're fighting it?" I don't think he specifically goes into detail like you do, but he does mention the fact that, oh, it's probably just because it's like an all-out brawl now, or they're just controlling it better. So they even mention in the anime the fact that they're not shaking it anymore. Also, just to say this, their fight was seen from the Kaioshin realm. They was shaking the universe. I understand. I agree with you. It does have better feats, but still, the narrator and pretty much even Goku and Goku Black in the manga, it's just... the form is a weaker form, you know. I don't know what else to say. People have done tons of videos on this already. Yeah.
What you need to realize is that Dragon Ball is made, for Goku at least, for Goku, it's mainly about power scaling. Because Goku's never going to have, like, really that much insane feats. I mean, I'm surprised we saw the universal shit. I'm going to be honest. I mean...
I'm surprised, too. I was surprised with that, too. People are happy, though.
Yeah. Really, some of Goku's best feats are really when he's just, like, a normal Super Saiyan, like... when he haymakers Frieza's attack into the fucking into the solar system and just fucking blows up a planet in deep space and shit. You never see that as a Super Saiyan 2. Hell, Goku versus Vegeta, Fight 1, has better feats than Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta. So are you going to say base Goku from Saiyan Saga is stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Goku now because of feats? No. Goku's all scaling. Goku's all scaling.
What about this, though? The people who say that Cell and the androids are weaker than Frieza because they didn't see him bust a planet, bro.
Yeah, it's same shit, different day, you know. Maybe you'll open your eyes a little bit on, you know, Super Saiyan Blue being stronger, because I have been seeing that come up now since, you know, because Vegeta went God form, so the fanboys are kind of getting a little bit more rampant, you know. So hopefully we kill that down. And anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and subscribe to Geeklist, subscribe to me, and until next time.